Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway.
No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25.
So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over.
They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
I've heard of quick-strike offenses, but this is taking that to the extreme. I mean, the very first snap of the ball game, normally you're thinking, let's get our quarterback comfortable and get him into the flow of the game, but not here. They come out attacking from the outset, and it pays off in a big way.
On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
From the gun, here's Fields. He completes that to Garrett Wilson.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Downs going in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line.
Trayvon Diggs getting the tackle. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Drive starts with a run from Gibbs.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss.
Richardson hit it. He fumbles it.
Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there, but luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Down to the 10. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
So from back deep in their own territory, all the way into the end zone, do you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 32.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Fields. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. When you look at this defense, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now a handoff to Bigsby. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Holding offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for. And remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 3rd and 4 now. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
When you talk about this Jets defense, It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number one in the NFL against the pass.
And this is one of those something's got to give games. You got the number one passing team in the NFL against the number one defense against the pass. A lot of times, the battle's in the trenches. We know that. We see it all the time. But this one, this game's going to be won on the outside.
Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, it's Richardson. And it'll find the open man. That's complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 15-yard line. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. But they also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. They go play action with Richardson. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 14 yards that time for number 14.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Gibbs. Touchdown.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now 14-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. And now out come the Jets. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground with Bigsby to start the drive. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here. 2nd and a couple as they've got it as we resume action. In motion, Slayton. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. That complete to Downs. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
Two running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now?
Back to throw. Fields.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Brian Brzee fought in and got him down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
Here's the Anchorage offense back out now. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
On 2nd down, here's Gibbs.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Now, we all know that an offensive coordinator and a quarterback, they're aligned at the hip. But when you've got a runner who can get you that kind of yardage, that guy's invaluable.
Going back to Gibbs on 1st down.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn.
And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Fields going to run the draw.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 3rd and 6.
The Jets on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6.
Fields now to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A gain there of 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11.
But keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at him right now and say, let's get away from him entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Gibbs straight ahead, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Richardson out of the shotgun. Outright to Smith and Jigba. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Now Richardson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Richardson. This is caught. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They'll run with Gibbs. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, as the first half is winding down. And the Lumberjacks will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point try now from Dicker. And it's 21-3. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So we reach halftime. Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The question to be asked, where does this game go from here as we are back at it now on EA Sports? The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Kene Nwangu. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. A CD after this game, there will be 4 weeks left in the regular season. So this is far from the final version of what we'll see come January, more of a first draft, if you will, as all these teams fight for a better position.
And you pointed it out so accurately there, Brandon. After this game, 4 weeks left in the regular season, and then the playoffs officially begin. But for some teams, trying to fight to make it to the playoffs, they're actually in a playoff push right now.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball. And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
In motion, Slayton. 2nd and 10, Fields again. That's going to be caught by Bigsby. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Here's a give to Bigsby. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for New York. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Anchorage offense back out now The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And he's got some space here. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 70 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I can say this from experience, especially from a defensive back's perspective. There's not many things more terrifying than a toss sweep or a pitch play and all that beef out in front of the runner.
Yeah, I had an old coach say 3 words on those plays, toss or pitch. Set the edge. Heard him over and over.
A lot of times they roll the edge, and when they do that, that's why you can go for a long way.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a jet was shaken up on that one. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Richardson off the play fake. He finds his man, complete. That's Barnett. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Hand off now to Gibbs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Richardson to throw off play action. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. And Richardson back to throw it. And that will be incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even starting to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
Another drive coming up for New York's offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Fields. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Here's the Anchorage offense back out now.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs.
And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here's Richardson to throw.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Barnett. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop him.
On first down, Richardson.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, time to...
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown. A big play there. Standing alone with a new NFL record, 32nd touchdown.
And the Lumberjacks have taken a 5-touchdown lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Here's Bigsby.
And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
3rd down and 1. And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Here's the Anchorage offense back out now.
And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down into those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Quick throw completed by Richardson.
And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Richardson looking to throw this.
He finds his man, complete. That's Barnett. And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a 3rd down gain of 4.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Off play action. Richardson.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Barnett. Give him 30 yards there.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Richardson looking to throw.
Over the middle, complete. It's Gibbs. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here's Richardson.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
New York set to take the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Here's Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Christian Gonzalez.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The New York set to take the field.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brian Brzee able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
That's good for a Jets. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here's Fields. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far.
And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Call that a gain of 11.
Play action. Now Richardson.
Escaping the pressure right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Richardson. He's into space past the 25.
And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown.
Anthony Richardson.
A 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Lumberjacks extend this fourth quarter lead, and they are getting closer and closer to win number 11. Extra point try now from Dicker.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it was Anthony Richardson who took it into the end zone to finish things off.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Richardson.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we both earned.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Lumberjacks add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. New York ready to go again offensively.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
On second down, here's Fields. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last, and make it a successful one in some small way.
Hands it off out of the gun. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Out comes Anchorage to take over offensively. CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. This has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game well decided a long time ago.
Now Richardson. Throw left side complete. That's Ramirez. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Richardson on the bootleg here. Rolling to his right. Oh, poor decision there, and it's going to be intercepted. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
New York's offense back out there and set to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter
run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A shotgun snap, Fields.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Fields. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Brian Brzee getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 49-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
It's 2nd down.
Now Richardson going to shift things up. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He finds his man, complete. That's Barnett. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 17-yard line.
And an Anchorage 1st down.
Okay, break. Viking 18. Ready.
Back to throw. Richardson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Richardson hit it, he fumbles it. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that 6th sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Anchorage, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Jets, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.